Welcome back, everybody. Well, I want to talk about the biggest story in Britain right now. And I'll start by asking this. Why hasn't Keir Starmer condemned Alaa Abdel Fattah's anti-Semitic, anti-British and openly racist tweets? Why the silence, Prime Minister? Just weeks ago, the PM was happy to attack Nigel Farage over unproven claims of racism, pure hearsay from when he was a child at school over 50 years ago. And why the rush to condemn hearsay but ignore open documented racism from a man he claims he is delighted to welcome to Britain?
Mr. Speaker, he talks about dog whistle. Last week, his leader said he didn't have time to condemn the racist comments of his fellow MP for Runcorn. He also said he didn't have time to condemn his party calling children in care evil. He didn't have time.
Well, isn't it all a bit rich? Starmer burns parliamentary time chasing 50-year-old playground tittle-tattle, but won't touch the festering scandal of his own delighted endorsement of an openly racist hate preacher. And what about David Lammy, our Deputy Prime Minister?
He must call his scheme to round up and deport our French, our Indian, our Caribbean neighbours who already have indefinite leave to remain what it is. It is racist. I say not in our country, not in our name, not in our time.
Where are you hiding today, Lammy? You've also been gushing about being delighted to welcome Al Fattah to the UK. Has the cat got your tongue now, has it? At the G20 summit, Starmer also said about Farage that the man is spineless. These are his words. If that had been someone in my party, I'd have dealt with it straight away. He needs to explain why he's too spineless to take action. Well, look in the mirror, Keir. Who's spineless now? You rolled out the red carpet for a man who brands British people dogs and monkeys, hiles vile anti-Semitism, calls for police to be hunted and demands Downing Street be torched. Where's your straightaway action now? Where's your explanation for allegations you've advocated for this man? Even if Starmer and Lammy and his other band were clueless about Al Fattah's tweets at first, which raises serious questions in of itself, by the way, they do know about them now, don't they? So where's the apology? Where's the retraction? Where's the deportation order for this vile, disgusting man? But here's the truth. Starmer is the one without a spine, isn't he? No condemnation so far of Al Fattah directly from the Prime Minister. No action, no apology, just a cowardly void. The same words, frankly, I'd use to describe their governing of this entire country to date. They're all very quick to scream racist and make bold statements about taking immediate action if it were allegations against them. But as usual, they've been exposed as hypocrites of the highest order. Look, it's not too late, Keir and co. Apologise now, retract your statements, and then deport this disgusting piece of work. Anything less, and you should seriously think twice before accusing others of cozying up to racists in the future. Let's get the thoughts of my panel. Linda Jubilee's here, Adam Brooks and Paul Richards, all joining me in the studio. Of course, just other news of the day. Nigel Farage has reported Al Fattah to counter-terrorism police and has released a statement this evening, has written Shabana Mahmood, the Home Secretary, urging her to rescind the citizenship of Al Fattah and deport him from the country.
There's nothing more important than keeping your money and your identity safe online. And with so many VPN options available, choosing the right one can be pretty daunting. But this video's sponsor, ExpressVPN, is making the choice easier for GBNews viewers. ExpressVPN is offering up to 75% off, plus 4 extra months free. That's top-level security from just £2.49 a month, and you're covered by their 30-day money-back guarantee. So just click the link in this video's description or scan the QR code now. Remember, when you're online, you are often sharing personal data, so hackers can steal your information, your passwords, your photos, and your bank details in just seconds. But ExpressVPN encrypts your connection, making it virtually impossible for hackers to access your personal information. So why choose ExpressVPN? Well, it couldn't be easier to use. With just one click, you are protected. And ExpressVPN uses military-grade AES 256 encryption, which is the same standard trusted by the US government to guard their classified information. With their new tiered plans, you can protect up to 14 devices at once and manage passwords securely. Live chat support is available 24/7, and it typically connects you in under a minute with a real person. Click the link in this video's description or scan the QR code to get up to 75% off ExpressVPN, plus 4 months extra for free. Start protecting yourself today with ExpressVPN.
Linda, I'll start with you. Obviously, there's a lot of plausible deniability here from people. What do you make of it?
Well, what I can't understand is why MPs in general do not even do the most cursory search back to check on the posts that people have put out. It's not rocket science. It's very, very easy for people to check these things out. But in the main, MPs are really bad and really lazy at doing those things. That's MPs from both parties.
Yes.
Now, what I think in general is another disappointing thing, apart from the hideous nature of these posts, is that far too many MPs concentrate on posting, not policy. They simply are weighed down by this idea of getting online and making remarks and posting stuff instead of getting on with their job of work, their main job of trying to run this country properly. They're being swallowed up in a sea of social media, and it's becoming quite ridiculous.
Indeed. Adam?
Look, what really angered me is that Keir Starmer, David Lammy and Yvette Cooper said it was a priority of this government to get this guy out and over here. Why should we have this man? I mean, it was the Conservatives that give him the British passport. But some of the tweets that he said, anti-white tweets, anti-gay tweets, anti-Semitism, violent tweets, incitement tweets against police and other people. Now, at the end of the day, this man, in my opinion, is a scumbag. I was retweeting him all yesterday, and last night before I went to bed, I actually retweeted a tweet where he said, "I'm a terrorist," and other words in that tweet. I woke up and he'd deleted the tweet, and then I was blocked. I've been blocked by his sister as well. He doesn't like being called out. But now we've got a dangerous man, in my opinion, in Brighton. Is he getting a house on benefits? Is his family getting benefits? Am I paying for that? Are you paying for that? Why should we, the British public and the taxpayer, fund a vile and I believe dangerous man?
Yeah, totally agree.
And I think Keir Starmer needs to correct this, delete the tweet. 30 million people have seen his ridiculous tweet, and answer to us, the people that they represent. Why have you brought this man here?
Paul, should Keir Starmer resign over this?
Well, obviously not, but I think Adam does.
Why not?
Adam makes some really important points, actually, about the process of this. I genuinely don't understand why the Conservative government gave him citizenship. That's the first question that needs to be answered. And people like Jenrick were in the government at the time, so they might know. They were.
He's called it out, though, Paul.
And same as cleverly.
I just want to, just in defence of Robert Jenrick, he's the only one with the gall to have come on here last night when I was speaking about this issue and actually take my feedback and say, well, will you condemn James Cleverly? Will you condemn Militia
What did he
Kearns?
say?
Well, he didn't at the time.
No.
But at least he had. I haven't seen where the leader of the opposition's been, by the way. I don't know where she's been in part of all of this. It's been complete crickets. And I do have criticism for the Conservatives over this.
I mean, so this story isn't going to end tonight. I mean, this is going to unravel over the next few days, isn't it? So that decision is a really interesting decision. Picking up Linda's point about people putting stupid things on social media, you know, as a special advisor, the job is to, before your boss goes into the public domain saying anything, you do due diligence. And looking up these tweets, which are disgusting and turn my
very
stomach,
easy to find
takes
as well.
10 minutes to do that job and say, boss, I don't think we should be just retweeting this thing from Downing Street because, you know, there's more to this than meets the eye, just hold back for now. Now, that doesn't take long or much gumption to do, so the SPAD should be involved in that as well. And then the next question that the next 48 hours is about whether he should be deported, have citizenship rescinded, and that argument needs to play out.
We don't want him here, Paul. The majority of this public, of the British public, do not want him here.
That's
and I can safely say that, and I would put money on that.
Well, I suspect you're probably right. You know,
let's remember, you say about Keir Starmer, he tried to get Parliament to get this guy out 3 years ago. Someone put a tweet out or a tweet up earlier with a reference to Keir Starmer basically trying to get this man over
But
here.
in defence of the government, which is my job on this panel, as you know, they would say he's a British citizen, and no matter how repugnant his views are, which they would say they didn't know at the time anyway, he is still a British citizen. So the Foreign Office has to go to bat for British citizens, right? That's the argument.
He's never...
Now, why he's a British citizen?
How do you
He's never
remove his
worked
citizenship? How do you remove his citizenship?
Very, very briefly, Adam, and I want to give final word to you, Linda.
Let's just remember, this guy has never worked here, never lived here.
Which is why I say, that's why I say,
let
why has he got...
Adam speak.
He should have no right to be here.
Right.
And again, I speak, I believe, for the British public. We do not want this Alaa in this country. And I feel sorry for the people that live in Brighton around him.
Linda.
I think that we should remove his citizenship. I think that's what should start to happen right now. There's no question. I mean, I'm sure it's technically a little bit difficult to do, but that doesn't mean to say you shouldn't do it. That's what needs to happen. He needs to have his citizenship removed. He needs never to get it again, and he needs to be deported.
Final word, Paul.
Well, ministers are going to be all over this, I can tell you. I mean, Shabana Mahmood is not a soft touch on this. So I think, you know, tonight, tomorrow, Tuesday, we'll see.
Well, that will be the telling thing, won't it?
Yeah.
Is the Labour government going to be a soft touch on this, or I mean, you know, if you're going to lock people up for tweets, but invite someone over here who's said all that stuff,
yeah,
I think there will be hell to pay for the government, politically speaking, if they don't sort this out. It's a absolutely horrendous situation. The government should be ashamed of themselves at this point in time.
Agreed.
Well, a Foreign Office spokesperson has said this. Mr El Fattah is a British citizen. It's been a long-standing priority under successive governments to work for his release from detention and to see him reunited with his family in the UK. The government condemns Mr El Fattah's historic tweets and considers them to be abhorrent.